Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by saying that the target of our housing policy, unlike that of the political classes, is not to keep building at all costs simply to keep up with the pace of immigration. It is to promote social justice. Today, there are over 20,000 ex-British soldiers sleeping rough, homeless on our streets, having returned from risking their lives for Queen and country. And I pledge to you here and now that UKIP would provide shelter and housing for every single one of them. That is social justice. You see, we do not aspire to be politically correct. We aspire to be morally correct by the British people. Ladies and gentlemen, the great British countryside has inspired the greatest of poets, writers and artists. Lush forests, breathtaking cliffs and wild, beautiful mountains that truly are the stuff of dreams, romance and fairy tales. Our countryside is unique. It is the best in the world. The heart of our nation beats through every tree and every field and through the landscapes for which endless British soldiers have laid down their lives to protect. Only 13% of our country's landmass, the Greenbelt, provides fresh air for 50 million urban dwellers. Breathing in clean air is our first human right. Yet 7 million people die annually in our world each year because of poor air quality. And experts claim that even right here in the United Kingdom, tens of thousands of people are dying prematurely annually due to dangerous air pollution, which currently regularly breaches legal limits. In fact, sadly, our country today has the worst air pollution in its history since 1954. A single tree in a growing season removes 9 pounds of nitrogen dioxide, 6 pounds of sulfur dioxide, 0.5 pounds of carbon monoxide, and 5,200 milligrams of lead from the air. And so there you have it, the three low-carbon seeking, green taxing, wind farm loving, one-size-fits-all old establishment parties paradoxically have no qualms in ripping out and concreting the very environment on our doorstep that it should be our priority to protect, the British countryside. So much so, ladies and gentlemen, that more than 6,000 homes are planned each month for the countryside. More than 1 million homes are presently in the planning loop to be located on the country, the green belt and green spaces. And that, of course, is only the beginning. These new properties will need roads, they will need infrastructure, they will need services, further blighting our landscapes. We must stop this process now. Once it's gone forever, and Great Britain will never be the same again. Who gives lib-lab-con politicians the right to deprive your children and future generations from living the marvels of the British countryside, to confine their experience of the beauty of Britain to images from photographs and video archives? I do not want the next generation to be able to only imagine how beautiful Britain once was. So let's be clear. This United Kingdom Independence Party will never concede an inch of the British countryside to residential development. We will never put a price on our green and pleasant land, and we will never put profit before people. It is estimated that we need at least 200,000 new homes a year. 43%, according to Nick Bowles, the Government Planning Minister, are accounted for by immigration. You see, you cannot have an open-door immigration policy which leads to over 4 million people settling in the UK in the last decade without first planning for the fact that these extra people will obviously need to use schools, hospitals, roads, and of course, to have adequate housing. Unfortunately, we do not have the space, the public services, or the infrastructure that the United States, Australia, or Canada has. Our strategy is simply to produce more homes the market needs without just resorting to building alone, but by including the return to use of empty properties and by converting to residential many long-standing, dormant commercial, office and industrial buildings. We will start by incentivising back into the market the 700,000 homes shamefully lying empty in our country when 700,000 fellow Brits are sleeping homeless and rough tonight. We also say it is right to relax planning regulations in strategic zones to make it easier to convert some of these disused offices and commercial spaces into affordable housing. The Campaign for the Protection of Rural England estimates that 1.5 million new homes can be developed on brownfield land. The think tank Civitas go further. They say 2.5 million homes can be developed on brownfield. Going forward, therefore, the centrepiece of our housing policy is to instigate the most far-reaching brownfield land revolution ever known, to save the British countryside. We will establish the UK Brownfield Agency to compile and collate data for a national brownfield register, provide decontamination assessment grants and low-interest loans for decontamination and land remediation itself. We would issue brownfield bonds with the aim of raising £5 billion to fuel our brownfield revitalisation programme, paving the way for more affordable housing, for more home ownership, by investing in our country's most derelict and underused land, rather than turning beautiful landscapes into concrete jungles, as the present government wants to do. And as you may have read in the press recently, we have announced that we would eliminate stamp duty from all properties developed on brownfield land and remove value-added tax from all brownfield conversion costs. Brownfield development makes sense. It means improving the countryside and our public health rather than undermining them. Through grassroots referendums in planning, we will give people, the ordinary people and communities of this country, the power to shape the towns and the cities that they live in, rather than faceless bureaucrats and big business. So I say, vote purple, keep Britain green. And make no mistake, we are the only party that will keep Britain green. One, by not building on the countryside. Two, by saying no to wind farms. I thought you'd like that one. And three, by scrapping HS2. Nigel rightly predicted that UKIP would cause a political earthquake come the European elections. Well, he was right, of course, ladies and gentlemen. But judging from the policies that we will be unveiling the next couple of days, let me say our friends in the media should begin to prepare themselves, because this time round, come May the 22nd and the general election, we may well be ready to unleash a political tsunami. And in Nigel Farage, we couldn't wish a better leader, and Britain a better Prime Minister. And that is why I'm going to dare to say that we must leave this conference today and tomorrow thinking of that which only until recently was unthinkable, believing in that which was truly once unbelievable, that just maybe we can win the next general election, that we can form the next government, that Nigel can be in 10 Downing Street. And I want you all to believe it. If we look the distance we've come, as Nigel said, this is truly only the beginning. There is no greater cause, ladies and gentlemen, than the freedom and independence of the United Kingdom. And the only way we will achieve that is by getting UKIP into government next year. Not by David Cameron's referendum. This is our country. Let's take it back.